I've been in the music scene in Denver since 2008. I started writing for a music magazine and from there worked my way to writing for a bigger publication, and then started producing concerts, got into some events, and now I'm kind of everywhere. The scene in Denver right now, it's thriving. I really like it. It's really diverse, which is something that I think a lot of cities can't say. I think it's time people start paying attention to Denver just because we've got so much diversity in music here. 303 All Access is going to feature all things Denver music. We're going to be backstage with artists in areas that people can't go to. We're going to hit the best artists coming from Denver, artists coming to Denver. It's going to be all about the Denver music scene. We're going to bring people into our city. We're going to show them what our music scene is all about, and you know, just really take it further than anybody has here in Denver. And
I've been in the Denver music scene for probably the better part of a decade in different capacities. The Denver music scene has changed in leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. Everything from the way shows are put together, the way venues work, to the actual work that artists have to put in. I mean, everything has changed from YouTube to social media. You can get exposed for your weaknesses very easily now, so you've got to be on your game. I think Denver has so many eyes on it because the nation is starving for good music and they're looking for that outlet. And Denver is one of those towns where the artists are out there and they're putting the work in and they're playing live and releasing music. And Denver's no joke. This is not a town you want to sleep on. The Denver music scene is real. I don't think there's a particular Denver sound. I mean, we've got everything from a true metal sound to melodic rock to, I mean, there's an emergence of an acoustic hip-hop scene. I don't think there's a Denver sound, but I think that Denver touches in all genres right now. Denver music and extreme sports have crossed over in so many different ways. We have athletes who are musicians. We have musicians who, you know, their side project is as an extreme athlete. We've got musicians in the scene making intro music for extreme athletes. I mean, they go hand in hand. You can't separate the two. You know, as far as memorable Denver music scenes, I really, really try to focus on the local scene and not so much the national scene. I mean, the national bands are awesome, but they've already made it. So I really try to focus my energy in the local scene. And I think some of the great stuff that's happened recently is the power behind the music battles that have been going on, and the work that you get to watch the artists put into bringing a crowd night after night after night to win a title that could propel them to be that next band that breaks nationally out of the Denver scene. On 303 All Access, people can expect to see the hottest Denver bands mixed in with some national bands that really have a vibe for the Denver scene. The best of the best, you know, showing their craft and putting out what they do and really showcasing for not only the Denver media but nationally. You're going to get exposure. You better put on your best show, because if you're on film, you're getting seen. We're going to be out at venues. We're going to be out at shows. We're going to be in the nightlife. We're going to find the Denver music scene, and we're going to get you out there. We're going to be the best friend that you could have. If you don't bring your game, it could be the worst enemy you've ever seen.
Breakthrough Beautiful. Paige here for 303 All Access. I'm here with Breakthrough Beautiful. Just really quick, tell us about the band, how long you guys have been around, and kind of what you guys do.
We have been playing out since April 2010. We've probably played, I want to say, like maybe 10 to 20 shows as a band over the last year or so. like our 5th or 6th show as a band was Big Gig 2010 in September of that same year. We just got done, I want to say, 3-4 months ago with our EP.
But we were together 2 years before we ever played.
Yeah, we've been working on the music a long time before we started playing. Yeah, we recently played Ernie Ball stage of Warped Tour this summer. Been on some cool shows like around town with you guys and stuff like that, and we've got a lot of cool things in the works coming up. We're going to be going recording this weekend a couple songs, and we're just trying to stay busy and writing new material. And
just kind of talk about how you guys fit into the Colorado music scene.
I kind of feel like we kind of don't fit in a lot of times. But like a lot of the bands that we play with, at least, we kind of stick out a little bit. I don't know if there's really a representative genre for Colorado right now. I know that there's a lot of movement in the electronic kind of style, but and we try to incorporate a little bit of that into our music, but we still try to stay true to like a pop rock.
I think our music is like very accessible, like so it's easy for, even if we are playing with like different types of bands, that people from any genre or people that listen to different genres or that are into different kind of music types in Colorado can come to a show and maybe see our band for the first time and still like a lot of things about it. I think it's really accessible to people, and it's very easy for someone to listen to and kind of get on board with it.
What is your guys' take on the Denver music scene?
I think it's a great place for music. I think it's an amazing place for music, and I think a lot of really good bands have come out of here in the past couple of years. I think the main thing that Denver should focus on is being more together and kind of giving up the feuds and giving up, all of the BS, and just going with love, and just being more open to each other. I think that's what will really lead Denver. It could put us on the map if we could just all come together a little bit better. So.
Talk about what's next for you guys. What are you working on? Are you guys going in the studio? What are you guys going to do now?
We're recording a couple songs this weekend.
We're so popular. Singers.
And I don't know, I think our next step is trying to get out to maybe some like resources and stuff outside of the state and see if we can tap into anything there or get noticed, get some promotion outside of kind of like our local town where we can I don't know, maybe get on like more of a national scale, or maybe play some out-of-state shows, get on a tour, something like that, talk to some labels or promoters or producers, people that can check out our music, and I think that's the next step for us.
How can people find Breakthrough Beautiful?
Probably the best way to find Breakthrough Beautiful right now is Facebook. It's .com/BreakthroughBeautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That's where all of our music is up right now, and that's where all the info is at this point. We're working on a website, but it's this close. BreakthroughBeautiful.com is this close.
So a lot of people think you need to be from Los Angeles, New York, or come out of Austin to really make it as a band right now. Do you guys think that that's true, or do you think that you can actually be a Denver band and kind of come out of the city?
I think plenty of bands have shown that they can out of our city. There's been, I think, several successful bands that have come out of this town, and I think it's not really about where you're from. It's about kind of where you're going and what your drive and passion is, and your music and that. I don't think it matters too much where you're from. I think we've still got a really strong music scene here. You know, it might not be as big as some of those other cities, but I still think it's a great place to play, and I think it's a great place for music.
Round we go, go, round we go, round and round we go, round we go, round and round we go. I lost you, I found me. What a fine day.
Who is EdStanley? Perfect.
Who's EdStanley?
Who is EdStanley?
Do you know EdStanley?
We are EdStanley, actually.
We are EdStanley.
We are EdStanley.
But we aren't.
Sometimes.
I'm actually the bassist of EdStanley.
Justin, drum.
Sky, guitar. This is the vocal section right here.
Together we are EdStanley.
Yeah, that's true.
What kind of band is EdStanley?
Passionate.
Loving.
Caring, yes, loving.
Articulate. Hungry. Raw.
Full.
Full. Raw.
Musically, what is EdStanley?
Dynamic. Aggressive. Gentle.
Loud.
Loud. A little garagey. Gnarly.
All of us originated playing our own instruments separately. I had drums in my garage before we met Dave. Dave had a bass before he met me. Scotty had a guitars going before, I think, well, maybe before he met me, but Dave. And we would always talk about maybe getting together. We'd be up in Dave's room and clinging around, playing little things, but then we had a neighbor. We all
lived together. We were near each other. Scotty lived together. Justin was our neighbor.
I was the neighbor. And then we had a neighbor that had an array of musical instruments, mics, amps, PAs, basses.
So we had soundproofed our apartment. We'd go in there and jam wherever we could. And we'd always want to go over to his and do the same thing. But, you know, being tight Huntington Beach, you just can't do that. So, you know, once we came up with the idea of just soundproofing our garage, it just started from there. So then we got Ed involved, and then myself and Justin and Scott helped when they could. And we just went at it for a couple months.
Well, he put all this, everything in there. We put everything we could think of in there and made it all psychedelic.
Made it like a tune.
Yeah, he made it pretty awesome. Now that I think about it, I really miss it.
Yeah, sick.
But and that man is EdStanley. That's where we kind of originated that.
Nice. Now, at what point did you guys decide this is more than just kind of a jam session? This could actually be a real band.
I think we always looked at it. We've always felt that it was a real band. I don't think we ever kind of did it just to jam. But I think there was definitely a point where we went from where we began to understand that, whoa, the three of us can do this. You know what I mean? I think we always knew we had a future together performing. But I think there was a point where Dave moved to San Diego and we started playing gigs. It was, before you started playing gigs, there's always that, are we ready? You know what I mean? There's a hesitation, and we had an opportunity to just say F it and just go start playing shows. And that's when we started going, okay, and then, we did the San Diego scene for months, year. And then we got into a battle of the bands in Huntington Beach, and I think that's when it really kind of blossomed. Because we should have won the battle of the bands, but we got second place. But that gave us like this confidence. We're like, okay, not only did we dig it, other people dig it. So
I think for me, it was back in the garage when Scotty would plug in and he'd hit a certain chord, and I'd feel like, oh, okay, here we go. Like something in my soul was settling. Like, I'd be sitting on the drums and oh, nice, and then he would slap something on the bass and be like, ooh.
Yeah, the thing about the garage, once the garage was formed, it wasn't just us three playing. It was all our friends coming in all the time. So you know, we would form different jam sessions between all our friends, and you know, once that kind of fizzled out a little bit, and it came down to us. From the beginning, we pretty much said it was going to be that way. Of course, it went a different path for a couple years, and it was just fun jamming, hopping on drums, all of us hopping on different instruments, playing. And then it just came down to, all right, let's do this. We're going to stick to this instrument. We're going to stick to this.
Dave and Justin would always be. Dave loves playing the drums too. So always, and Justin's lefty and Dave's righty, so I'd always be flipping it. And it was fun because they both had their styles, you know. But it just worked the way it turned out. I mean, it just. Justin has said this before, but even just the way that we physically appear on stage, and this word before, symmetry, and it's true. Just kind of how the three of us come together, it's just right. It just works.
What's kind of the future for EdStanley right now?
I think more traveling and more live shows, just getting playing live down to where we can handle anything, because so many things go wrong. Playing live shows, it's ridiculous. Anywhere from tape to plugs to mics to switches to heads to just everything. It's stuff that doesn't happen in the studio, otherwise this stuff happens. So I think just us getting on a bill with a lot of other great bands.
What is your guys' take on Denver's music scene?
I think Denver's music scene, I mean, from a grassroots, local, community vibe blows away LA, Los Angeles. Now, Orange County could be a different story. We haven't really engulfed ourselves within the Orange County scene. But as far as the number of bands in Denver for the square area, what's going on, I can't say it blows away. We're not deep in the LA scene either. But Denver has a different sense of community. And I know there's a lot of rivalry in Denver. You know, I mean, this band doesn't like this band, who doesn't like this band. And we just don't feel that as much in LA. It's more like there's some hungry people in Denver. We're blessed to be part of the scene.
Yeah, this is our fourth time out here.
Fourth time, yeah.
Yeah, we get nothing but love from the other bands and all the people around us. I'm always stoked to come out here.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to be from LA to make it. If you write beautiful songs, if you write it from your heart and you're passionate and you're hungry, I don't care if you're from Kansas. You know what I mean? With the internet and the ability to instantaneously touch the world, doesn't matter where you're from, it really doesn't. Maybe find EdStanley if you want to hear something.
EdStanley, yeah, there's several. I mean, I'd say we have our website, EdStanleymusic.com, Facebook. Facebook's the best way to just communicate with us, get what's new, what's the hottest right now. That's what we're updating. Updating every day, daily.
A little bit easier.
So,
yeah, we need to
you guys don't have much music. We'll use the footage from last night. Look at the HD of that.
Yeah, so I'd say EdStanley Music, Facebook site.
With a K, EdStanley Music. If you want to type in the URL, it's facebook.com/EdStanley promo. But you can also just search us under EdStanley Music with a K. Careful, because there's some EdStanleys out there that aren't us. There's the EdStanley, and then there's...
Who's EdStanley?
Yeah, so one thing, EdStanley is one word.
There you go.
Sorry, man. EVSTA.
We'll put a little,
no space. And that's
I told somebody.
And it's not EdStanley Band, the EdStanley Band.
I said,
EdStanley.
what's your band name? I said, EdStanley, one word. She goes, I've never heard of a band called EdStanley, one word. I was like, no, EdStanley, one word. She's like, yeah, I know, I heard you. EdStanley, one word. She's like, that's weird. I'm like, no, it's one word. She was on first. Everybody's on first.
Yeah, that's funny. Much love to Denver, Colorado. This is getting shout out to Colorado in general, to all of Denver, Colorado, Southern Colorado, Colorado Springs, Pueblo. Love. Thank you for treating us like family.
Wavering vision, multiply and down. Rectify the fragile placement of your pound. Trade your gun for a pen, your bomb for a buck. Come face to face with all the lives you took. Wow. Drop your weapons, there's none in heaven. We said, drop your weapons of self-destruction. And warpath, the pockets of bourgeoisie. Money and power, political potpourri. The larger the fire, the thicker the smoke. Control your desire, cause you read what they wrote. Plant this delusion in the back of your mind. Protect our people, kill all mankind. Trade your gun for a pill, your bomb for a bus. Come face to face with all the lies you took. Wow! Drop your weapons, if there's none in heaven. We said, drop your weapons of self-destruction.